Thank you,
Hi, Ignacia. How are you?
I'm very good. How are you, Butch?
I'm good. I'm still waking up here in Los Angeles. I was up late last night, so I'm having my first cup of coffee.
Well, I hope this is going to be a good interview, so you can enjoy your cup of coffee while we talk about your new record with Garbage. So let's just start right away. When you hear the word Chile, what reminds you? Do you maybe recall the last time you were here, or maybe something else?
Well, we've had amazing shows there. I love going to South America. I love Chile, and No Gods, No Masters has a big. Chile has a big influence on it. The first track, "The Men Who Rule the World," the chorus that Shirley sings at the end, "Violator, Destroy the Violator." She saw the news with like 100,000 women marching in the streets.
LasTesis.
Yeah, protesting the government. And that was a really powerful image. Shirley saw that and wrote that chorus and came into the studio and sang it that day. So there's a powerful connection there.
For any Garbage fan or anyone that wants to understand this new album, in short, how is this album to be understood? What is Garbage trying to say with it?
Well, No Gods, No Masters is the most social political record that we have ever made in Garbage. And a lot of that is a direct result of the lyrics that Shirley wrote while looking at the world around us in 2020. It's just crazy. And especially here in America with Trump waking up every day in the news, it was another nightmare after another nightmare. And so Shirley's lyrics are a direct reflection of everything that she saw. And so as a band, Duke and Steve and I felt like we needed to make the music quite intense. It needed to match her performances and her singing and her lyrics. And yet every song kind of has its own sonic imprint. There's a couple tracks that are very electro rock. There's some that are quite like "The Men Who Rule the World" almost sounds like a fractured Talking Head song at the start.
But I thought of Pink Floyd. When I heard it.
Yes, Pink Floyd. There's a couple Pink Floyd moments on their record. There's references to Talking Heads. There's references to Roxy Music, Young Marble Giants, New Order, David Bowie. You know, that we have a lot of influences, and I can hear all those little things in the songs.
How did it work, the whole pandemic situation, to record this record? You were in different places, or you came all together into a record studio and make it like you joined, or you did it separately?
Well, we started recording, or at least writing songs in 2019, the last day that we had booked in the studio here in LA was March 15th of 2020. And the next day we went into lockdown. We weren't finished with the record. And if there had not been a pandemic, I think we would have had the record done and mixed by May 1st. But because of COVID going into isolation, it took us about 4 or 5 months to finish. Like Shirley had to finish some of the lyrics and singing at home by herself. I was working here in my home studio, finishing guitars or keyboards or doing some editing, and we had to do everything via file sharing and texting and emails or talking on a cell phone. And I didn't like it. You know, it's much easier when you're in a room and you can just react to music and talk about it and play it. You know, and so I think because of that isolation, it ratcheted up the intensity of the songs even more. I think some of the songs got sort of more neurotic and edgy sounding because of our forced isolation. And in some respects, I think that's a good thing.
Because we're talking about the songs specifically, what is the one song that left you with the most satisfaction of the album? Maybe because of its process, or maybe of its final result. When you think about the 11 songs on this record, which one is the one that most comes to your mind with a good result on your heart?
Well, I usually focus on the songs that were the hardest to complete, and one of those was Anonymous, which to me has a little bit of a Talking Heads vibe. Steve starts with a really quick strummy acoustic, which reminds me of Psycho Killer a little bit. But when the riff kicks in, it's a sax guitar synth riff, and it reminds me of Roxy Music. And even the way that Shirley sings that first verse, I can hear Brian Ferry from Roxy Music singing that. But that was a hard one sonically to get right, and arrangement-wise, we had a lot of different. We tried a lot of different things until we kind of got the music to work around Shirley's vocals. That was probably the hardest one.
This album, hopefully, will go on tour during November with Blondie. Great, both of the bands. What is the special bond between Garbage and Blondie?
Well, Shirley's known Deborah Harry for a long time. She inducted Blondie into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Shirley gave the speech when they were inducted. And we've toured with them before, and I like walking on stage with powerful women, and I know Shirley does too. For her, it's just a great bonding experience to go on tour with women. We had so much fun with them in 2018 or 2017. I think we went out. I think it was 2018. We did a bunch of shows with them, and it was amazing. So, fingers crossed, we're going to be back on tour this year. Everyone's kind of just waiting to see how everything is unfolding with the pandemic, but fingers crossed. And even more so, we hope in 2022 that we'll be able to keep touring, and we'll want to make it down to South America. We know we have crazy fans down there, and
yes, you do.
Fingers crossed that everybody stays safe and we get over this horrible pandemic that we're dealing with, because we would like to connect with our fans again. And I hope we make it down to Chile in 2022. Yes. In the meantime, say hello to all our fans, and please be safe.